Welcome to M&G Agency Live, your go-to podcast for creativity, insights, and now a spotlight on the amazing businesses we work with.
This series is all about celebrating the people behind the brands, diving into their stories, achievements, and what makes them tick.
From the inspiring journeys to future plans, we'll be shining a light on the local businesses driving our community.
So, whether you're here for marketing tips, entrepreneurial insights, or just curious about what goes on in the world of business, you're in the right place.
Shall we get into it then?
Oh, heck yes. Welcome to episode 7 of M&G Agency Live Meet the Client. This series, we're celebrating some of the incredible businesses and individuals we work with. Last week, we spoke with Graham Kinghorn from MHA, and today's episode promises to be another interesting one.
That's right, Amy. It certainly does. Joining us today are Emily and Sarah from Johnston Carmichael, one of the UK's leading accountancy and business advisory firms. Emily, Sarah, welcome to the podcast. Hello.
Hello.
Great to have you here. I wonder, to kick things off, if you both want to tell us a little bit about your roles and what you do at Johnston Carmichael.
I'm Emily. I head up marketing at Johnston Carmichael. Sarah is an essential part of my team.
Okay.
So my role at Johnston Carmichael is to shout about all the brilliant things we do across the firm and attract more brilliant people and more brilliant clients.
Excellent. All right. And Sarah?
Hi, I'm Sarah, and I look after the brand at Johnston Carmichael. So that involves how it looks, how it feels, and sort of all the touch points that our clients come into contact with. Also, it looks at how they'll feel about the brand as well.
Can we start by saying we're marketers and we're not the financial advisors?
Right, okay.
Because we are either way.
Feels like a caveat, this is not financial advice.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Today we're also joined by account manager Isla. So before we dive in, Isla, you've worked closely with Johnston Carmichael. Can you tell us about the kind of projects M&G has supported them with?
Hello. Thanks for having me again.
Welcome back, Isla. Always good. You know what, Isla? You're like a bus, because you haven't been on the podcast in ages and then you're on 2 in a row.
I know, look at
a
that.
bus.
It's
I
great.
just don't know how I feel about a bus.
Not very good connotations, but okay.
Great to have you here as always.
Oh, I am very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to be here with Emily and Sarah as well. So I have known Sarah for a long time, but really only started working with Johnston Carmichael, I guess, just over a year ago. Sarah and I were just talking about it. We had a client event, a Christmas event in the studio, where we made people do all sorts of funny things, like pose in front of a green screen.
Love that.
Do auto cue and things. And on the back of that, almost immediately, we started working with the team at Johnston Carmichael. So honestly, I feel so grateful that we've worked on so many great projects with you this year. I forget in which order they started, but we've done video projects in the studio, video podcasts. We've done incredible brochure work with you all. We are working, I feel like we've designed millions of offices for you all as you grow across the UK. But I think we've probably worked with you in most of the city offices and
So
things.
internal branding, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and
Great.
honestly, I thought my luck maybe ran out, but I've just did some chats with the team and there's already more stuff in for this year again.
Nice.
So I feel very lucky. And also, may I say, they're the most organised and nice group of people I've ever worked with.
Love it.
It's joyful. So that makes up for the fact I am not always organised.
Not at all.
You can't say it, but are they one of your favourite clients?
I can't. I have a lot of lovely clients. I don't feel like I'm doing a disservice to anyone by saying very nice clients.
Brilliant. Isla, thank you so much. So, Emily, Sarah, for those who aren't familiar, can you give us a quick elevator pitch for Johnston Carmichael and tell us what makes you so unique? Who wants to take this one?
So Johnston Carmichael is a UK accountancy firm, and we've been around for almost 90 years. Next year is our 90th birthday.
Okay, wow.
So we started off in the Northeast, and we've grown across the UK and now have offices in Newcastle and London. And I think one of the things that makes us unique is our people. We've grown a lot recently, and we are still growing. I think we've kind of kept the values and things the same, and that's kind of shines through in everything that we do.
Right, okay. Across 90 years.
90 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And Emily, is there anything to add to that?
No, spot on. We were chatting about this yesterday, actually. We're talking about campaigns, and it always comes back to the people at Johnston Carmichael, the relationships, the networks, but at the heart of that, it's the people.
Okay, that's interesting. We're going to get to culture later on in this episode. I think you're going to have a lot to say there.
So let's start with Johnston Carmichael's story. So with almost 90 years of history, it's a company that's truly stood the test of time. What do you think has been the key to its longevity and success?
Good question.
Good question. Always with the big questions.
I know. Good words in there as well.
I think probably the key is what we just touched on there, is what makes us, or what we feel makes us unique, is the people. The key to everything we've done has been the right people. Surround yourself with the right people at the right time.
Yeah.
And I personally feel I've been here for 10 years now with Johnston Carmichael.
Wow.
So I've seen a lot of change and been lucky to be part of that and driving forward my career and everything. But I think everything that has propelled growth has been done at the right time. It's living the values. It's sustainable. We've grown sustainably, and the people are at the heart of making that a success.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned people a lot, and you've been with the business for 10 years. So I'm getting the vibe that retention's obviously good and that you're a really nice company to work for. Would that be right?
So yeah, I've been here for 16 years. I joined back in 2006 on an events role, which was something that had interested me in my previous job. But in those 16 years, my career's grown and I've sort of changed my role quite a lot. And the firm has grown as well. So I've always, although I've been here a long time, I feel like I'm always learning. There's always new challenges. There's always new people to meet, new teams to work with, which is sort of what's kept me interested and fulfilled.
Okay. So I think you probably share a lot of the similar values that we have here at Mearns and Gill. I'm looking at you, Isla, because you've been here. How long have you been here now?
You make me sound like something from the Victorian days.
It's been 100 years.
I have been here just over 8 years. So, but yeah, I would say the exact same about here is that it's definitely the people, and I'd loathe to use the word family, but like we do all look out for each other, and you spend a lot of time at your work. And if you're not having a nice time there and feel supported and listened to and all these things that are actually really important, then you wouldn't just stay. So, and actually, I see the similarities between both companies and all the work that we do. And I'm sure I don't want to steal anyone's thunder, but the live stream that you did here not long ago, which was about your vision and values and your plans, I just thought, A, there were so many similarities, but B, I just loved listening to how you talk to your team, the plans, how you empowered everyone. So yeah, I've lost my train of thought on that answer, but you know what I'm saying. There's common ground between both for sure.
Okay. Brilliant. Right. That leads us on to my next question. I wanted to ask you both about, I guess, your own personal journeys, a little bit about your background, and then what drew you to where you are now at Johnston Carmichael. Don't know, Emily, if you want to go first here.
Yeah, what drew me to Johnston Carmichael? So 10 years ago, I was at that stage in my career where I was looking for a new challenge and a step up.
Yeah.
So I started 10 years ago as digital marketing manager and had the fantastic project of launching the new website, which we've still got today. And that was brilliant for me. Head first into a new project, get this launched within, I think, 6 months.
Wow.
Hit the ground running. That role attracted me because it was working with so many people across the business straight away. And what's kept me at Johnston Carmichael, again, with what you were saying there, Sarah, is it's all about moving forward and change and adapting and evolving. And there's never a dull day. We're always learning something new all the time. So from starting in that digital role, loving the company, loving the people, I then moved up in my role and actually went into more of a senior management role when I was looking at marketing operations and widening my scope beyond digital and getting into PR, getting into campaign planning and SEO and other bits and pieces. And then more recently, moving into the role of marketing director and heading up the team.
Okay.
So it's been very exciting for me over the last 10 years.
Quite a journey.
Life-changing. Yeah, I've been at Johnston Carmichael through career moments that have changed my life and life moments that have changed my life. I had my little boy during lockdown, then came back into marketing director role. So yeah, feel pretty passionate about the JC brand.
And it's been a big part of your life. So Sarah, what about yourself?
I joined as an event assistant when I was quite young.
Yeah.
And it's sort of kind of grown and I sort of grew with it. So I started off, I'd say, just doing events, but then I kind of got involved with the comms, the PR, lots of different areas. And then I kind of slowly got involved with things like the brand and a lot of sponsorship and partnerships as well. Sort of leading those that we have. We have quite a few sponsorships with the firm throughout my career. So the big one just now is the Kilt Walk we sponsor. So I kind of look after the people there and sort of manage that relationship. I remember when I had my interview with Johnston Carmichael, one of the things that attracted me as well was was the culture. We had CSR committees back then, and that was something that I really wanted to get involved with.
I'm getting a sense that Johnston Carmichael is the kind of business where there's a lot of opportunities internally. I noticed today on LinkedIn a post about apprenticeships. Is that quite a big thing? People coming in at ground level and kind of working their way up throughout the business. And I guess part of that culture and retention, it's appealing to people if they know that there's a career ladder for them within the company.
Yeah, we have a JC Futures apprenticeship where we bring on school leavers who maybe don't want to go down the university route of becoming an accountant. So it takes the same length of time and it's just a different route to getting that same qualification. And it's been really popular. We're recruiting just now.
Okay. There we go. If you're listening to this and you're not sure of your next steps, that could be an opportunity for you.
Yeah, definitely. So you've both mentioned culture, and it's obviously a really big part of any business. And Johnston Carmichael is known for fostering an inclusive and supportive environment. How do you maintain that sense of community across such a large and geographically spread team?
That is a really good question because that's a strong part of our role in marketing as well as everybody in the company. So I think for us, that's front and foremost in everything we do. We are across Scotland. We've got a Newcastle office. We've got a London office. So some people see each other more than others. So how are we keeping them connected to the wider business and visible? And I think a strong part of that is our People and Culture Forum, which I know you're a member of, Sarah, and we've got various subgroups as part of that as well, remote worker groups and other key areas. And that is really key people from around the firm all over the UK that are driving forward new ideas, fresh ways of thinking and change ultimately, which I think is really inspiring. So there's lots of things like that are ongoing throughout the year, meet regularly, we get updates, we see the impact of that. And then internal comms as well plays a huge role in that, in what we do every day. I don't know if you're wanting to add anything to that one.
Yeah, and I think even we have a hybrid working policy. So even if you're based in Aberdeen, you might not be working in the office every day seeing your team. So we're actually looking to start a new initiative called Time for a Blether, where we kind of have people from all across the UK, and it's almost like a speed networking type thing, speed dating.
Love it.
Sort of join in and have a cup of coffee, and you get matched with somebody in the firm, have a quick 5-minute conversation, and then you can kind of speak to somebody else. Because there are so many people, and yes, there's definitely people that we work with more often.
Yeah.
But it's good to sometimes miss those sort of having a cup of coffee with somebody.
Yeah, little chats.
Yeah, just at the kitchen. So, and we do have remote workers as well. So it's a good opportunity for them to meet new people in the firm too.
And Isla had mentioned your live stream. Tell us about where that idea came from, because that was a great way of you getting a message out to your full workforce at various locations.
We really wanted to elevate just a Teams meeting when you're sort of communicating a big message. We wanted to elevate it and make it feel special and a big event, because it was a big event.
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, in terms of how well your team received, because first of all, they put so much effort into it.
Yeah.
And I say we obviously had them in the studio and it was brilliant. They do so much of the hard work themselves, scripted, rehearsed, like the team are great to work with. But for me, what I saw of what was amazing about your event was it was almost like every single member of your team had been at like some concert or something afterwards. It was all of a sudden LinkedIn was full. Because what you had almost like watch parties, didn't you? So it was live streamed, but it was live streamed to groups of people around the country together. And they're sharing pictures of people on stage and this and that. And there's WhatsApp groups. And it was just like an amazing... It looked to me like you absolutely set out what you hope to achieve with that. And it definitely looked well received.
And it's quite exciting because when we live stream, essentially it's like a live piece of TV, really, isn't it?
When we were set up to go live, we had somebody in every venue that was WhatsApping Isla to say we're ready to go. And it was like Eurovision. Edinburgh's ready. Newcastle's online. So it was really exciting.
And it's great that, you guys enjoyed that experience as well. Let's go and talk about some of your marketing initiatives now.
Yeah. So, I mean, you've spoken about how culture is important for your internal comms, but also for your external marketing communications. Culture plays a huge role in how your brand story is told. How do you ensure that Johnston Carmichael's values and culture shine through in your messaging?
I think I'm going to say that word people again, but I think in everything we do, we're taking it back to the lead person in whatever that message is. So all of our brand messaging, we hope, gets our values across, and we do that in lots of different ways in terms of video clips, the right photography of our people, blogs, all that sort of stuff. But the heart of it for us is our people.
Yeah, we do try and put people behind the advice as well, rather than always being maybe leading with a lot of the stuff they do is quite technical. So it's trying to get that person across and maybe their story and their personality as well.
Interesting, love that. What about innovation then? So I imagine the finance industry is evolving rapidly, like everything else, but with trends like AI and automation. How are you guys staying ahead of the curve and continuing to innovate? What have you noticed?
We talk about this a lot, AI, especially because in 2 weeks' time, or is it next week actually, we've got an AI workshop just for the marketing team. And we're part of a wider global network called More Global. So we've got their marketing team coming along to that as well to get the heads in the room. But I guess in terms of what's next for the industry and what's next for us, I think for us it's always looking ahead and being informed. It's all about working smarter, not harder. Yeah. So AI is the word on everyone's lips, but what does that actually mean? So for us this year as a marketing team, our focus is actually looking at those processes that are taking the most time, the most strain on the team, and actually how can we switch them up, either stop doing them, do them smarter, or look for a new way of doing it so that we've got more time to actually think and get to the creative stuff that we're really, really good at.
Yeah, so streamlining and taking kind of those tasks that take quite a bit of time, taking that off your hands in a way so that you can get to the thinking and all the good stuff.
That's it, because the thinking takes the longest, and I know you'll know that being in an agency, you know, the thinking and the planning of a campaign can take days, but the pitch is 5 minutes. So it's getting that thinking time back, and I think that's true across the whole business. We're looking at innovation, and that's not necessarily what's the latest technology. It's new ways of thinking, new ways of doing things.
Okay. I guess AI can't do the creativity, the thinking for you, but it can do the kind of processes and structural things that take a lot of time.
That's it. We're not scared of AI. It's how's that going to be our co-pilot a bit more?
Exactly. How can you work with it?
Yeah.
So it sounds like you've been doing a lot of campaigns recently. What is your campaign or project that you're particularly proud of at the moment?
Well, I was thinking back to the strategy launch, which I know was sort of August last year, but it's still ongoing. It's not just a launch and then that's it. It's sort of a big part of a much bigger campaign as to how we sort of look at the year ahead. I'm also working just now on our Futures campaign, sort of apprenticeships, like I mentioned before, which is kind of, again, it's sort of profiling our people, our young people who have come through the process and how they can kind of educate other people and get them involved as well.
Emily, anything that you want to add to that?
I think the strategy launch is still front of mind, even though that was August last year. I can't believe that. So that was our launch to our people internally, and that was really exciting. And now Charlotte and the team is keeping that alive internally and beyond. And then our focus this year is looking at externally, how are we going to communicate the strategy to our people and our clients. And then the 90th is coming up, so this whole year is planning for that. But there's so many things that happen throughout the year that are probably mini campaigns that make us proud. And it'll be the things that we didn't think would get traction. So I was thinking back, the JC Olympic campaign we did last summer, I think it was, Sarah. Everybody in the team got involved in that. And we realised, again, it's getting back to people. The people behind the advice at JC are so interesting in terms of what they do outside of work, which is great. And we tied it back to sport. So we've got so many people across JC that compete at professional level in sport or for Scotland or on a bigger scale. So it was bringing all those stories together across the UK and highlighting them and having them pass the Olympic torch to each other. And it was a really lovely way of showing our spread across the UK, brilliant people behind JC, but also the talents they've got beyond the day-to-day service that they provide.
What was your sport of choice?
So I wasn't involved in the GC Olympics. If I was, it would be badminton, but at a sort of primary school level, that would be as far as I went.
That's all you need. You just admit it.
We have Isla, our in-house marathon runner.
Yeah.
Oh, Isla.
Oh, please, Pete. You are the in-house marathon runner. I am like the woman. I'm like Forrest Gump.
Who ran a marathon last year? Was it me or you? It was you.
I moved a marathon last year.
You did
Probably in the amount of time that I was definitely amongst the last people crossing that finish line. I did it.
Still an achievement.
Hey, a healthy workforce, though, that's also good to hear. So what about the future? How does that look for Johnston Carmichael, say, in the next 5 to 10 years? Are there any big goals or any other exciting initiatives on the horizon? That's another big question.
Yeah, I think it is. It literally just launched the strategy, and that takes us to 2030 and beyond.
Oh, right.
So that is all about building success stories that change lives for our people, our clients and our communities. So very, very exciting in terms of what's coming. And really engaging with the business in terms of next steps and what that means for each area. So no, I'm not going to give away anything that we're doing for the next 5 years other than
we had to ask.
Busy time. But yeah, I think it's what we've kind of said already. It's that keeping your eye on being sustainable. So what do we need to do for our clients and our people and the communities that we work across Scotland and the UK?
Okay.
Great. So let's move on to some practical advice. Obviously, you guys work with businesses of all sizes, from startups to some major big companies. What's the best piece of advice you'd give to businesses when it comes to managing their finances effectively?
The best piece of advice I would give them is speak to the experts, which is not Sarah and I. We can give you a budget for a really good event. We can do that. But no, I was having to think, we were having a wee brainstorm before this and chatting to the experts at JC. And some of the advice was brilliant, as you'd expect. Very simply, know your costs.
Yeah.
Be all over them. But also surround yourself with the right people, which I think is just great life advice, basically. But there are experts out there that have gone through this before or seen this in different ways. So make sure you get them on board, because they will be your champion. They want you to succeed. And use your networks as well.
All right. And what about any of our listeners who are maybe small business owners or entrepreneurs? What's one key thing that they should maybe consider when it comes to their financial planning as a smaller business?
So again, leading on the advice of my trusted experts around JC, it would always be get out there and speak to people, because there's always people that have done it before that you can learn from. But there's also lots and lots of different funding opportunities out there for small businesses, grants, networks, competitions you can enter, like Scottish Edge business competitions with real power to grow your business. So best piece of advice is get out there, get out to the business community, connect and learn, because there is lots and lots of opportunities to grow.
Yeah, I imagine for a small business, it must be quite a minefield out there, because you've got so many other things to consider. But then you engage with a company that can maybe take that pressure off and make it easier for people.
I think that's it. And like we were saying before, networks, it's all about networks. So whereas you might come to Johnston Carmichael and we give you the steer, we would introduce you to people that would help you too. So that might be either clients that have been where you've been 5 years ago, or again, sectors are really, really important, and we're members of lots of different organisations. We'd say, actually, come along to this event that I'm going to next week and you'll learn a lot. Or this is coming up. I think it would be a really good opportunity for you. So it's all about talking to the right people.
Useful advice.
Good advice. And then taking a step away from the business, personally, what do you do to ensure balance and maintain motivation in such I can imagine, is a demanding role?
I'm lucky to work flexibly, so I actually I don't work on Monday, so I've got a day to myself to walk the dog and all the rest of it, so that's great. And I think, yes, we are busy, we can work long hours, but we enjoy it.
Yeah.
And I think that was with the strategy, to talk about the strategy launch again, we worked so hard on that, but we saw the benefit, so it was worthwhile, and you kind of saw what you were working for. And then I always make sure I've got exercise classes scheduled in, so I know I'm getting still some me time to enjoy as well.
Important.
So.
And again, it's just like Murden School, because we really enjoy it too, in case Mike, the MD, is listening.
Love it. So much fun.
And Emily?
Same, actually. I work 4 days, so flexibly as well. I have a Friday off, and that's my day for Emily. So actually last Friday, I dropped my wee boy off at nursery and I went and took myself out for a lovely breakfast, and it was the best thing.
Nice.
It was just getting that me time. So for me, I think, like Sarah, you have a busy job, busy home life. I actually really love that time that I get to myself and make myself a bit of a priority. But we're all keen walkers, obviously sponsor the Kilt Walk. We get out a lot. But we started, it was Sarah's idea, when we came back from Christmas, our wellbeing walks on a Wednesday. So we've had one so far, but we're hoping to do that either monthly or every couple of weeks. And because we're a team that's spread across Scotland, we're not all in the same location. Sarah and Charlotte in Aberdeen, a lot of us down in the Central Belt. We do it virtually. So we do it over WhatsApp.
Oh, cool.
We go for a walk. We'll have a topic that we want to talk about, and everyone gets a turn to say something, which is really lovely. Or you can hear someone munching away on something as they're walking. And
what a great idea.
So, I love that. We should do
Wellbeing Wednesday walks, which we're going to copyright.
I like alliteration.
I love it.
Okay, then, right. It's that time of the podcast where we are going to move on to the next segment. This is one that Amy's not a big fan of.
No, I think you're being unfair.
Are you ready for Inspiration Corner? Thank you. Yeah. This is the part of the podcast where we ask you to shimmy into the corner. If you can both just move into the corner. Perfect.
Here we are.
Great. Look at you both in the corner. This is where we like to ask our guests to maybe share an inspirational quote, something you live by, your mantra, something that inspires you that you can share with our listeners. I don't know if you have one each, or Sarah, would you like to go?
Well, I thought it was quite cheesy as well, Aimee. So
Thank you.
I get ripped for this
Everyone's on my
every
side.
week.
But all I thought of was, I think for me, it's do what you love and with people that you love. I think that's kind of...
Do what you love with
nice.
people. That's brilliant. I like that. And if you're in that space, then you're going to have such a happier life, aren't you? All right. Emily, how are you going to top that?
I can't. I honestly can't. How can you top what the brand lead talks about? That's amazing, Sarah. I don't know if I've got one inspiration one that'll roll off the top, but there's probably a few over my career at JC that have just kind of come to mind. So
Right.
One is tomorrow's always a new day, which I live by because it doesn't matter what's happened or how good, it's like restart, reset. But one that I've noticed recently, we're talking about well-being there, is make yourself a priority.
Yeah.
So where are you on your priority list? You should be very high up there. So I kind of, for me, I keep that front of mind a
Yeah.
lot.
It's good to check in with yourself every now and then, isn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And big believer surrounding yourself with the right people. Who have you got that's your cheerleaders in the workplace and at home? It's all about having the right team around you.
We all need our hype man or woman with us.
Yes.
Thank you for taking that into Inspiration Corner. There we go. It's over, Amy. It's over with.
Thank
All right.
goodness for that.
So we are pretty much getting through the podcast. We are going to move on to our next section that we like to call This or That. It's a quick fire round of questions. You're both going to have to answer each
Yeah,
question.
this is going to get confusing, but I like it.
So, yeah, let's just crack on with it. Amy, do you want to go first?
Okay. Morning person or night owl?
I'm morning person these
Night
days.
owl.
Oh, one of each.
Oh.
I like it. Right, coffee break or team lunch?
Team lunch.
Team lunch, yeah.
Okay, we're in agreement.
Big presentation or behind the scenes planning?
Behind the scenes.
Oh, I'm kind of a bit of both. I'd say big presentation.
All right. You like the buzz of the
At
presentations.
the moment, I'm loving this buzz of quick fire.
This next one is going to be interesting because I think you all do a bit of both. Work from home or work from the office?
I get different things from, it's quick fire, isn't it?
Prefer office.
Office.
Okay.
Yeah.
Always hit deadlines or always exceed expectations?
Oh.
Hopefully both.
Hopefully both. I would say both in marketing all the time, right?
Both.
Yeah.
Okay, we will accept that as your answer. Unlimited budgets or unlimited creativity?
Oh, creativity.
Yeah, I think we have.
Be a master of spreadsheets or a wizard of presentations?
Wizard of presentations.
Wizard of presentation.
Oh.
Workout or chill out?
Workout.
Oh, I'm a chill out.
You guys compliment each other so well.
So, last one. Would you rather have a permanent glitter trail or a confetti explosion every time you enter a room?
Oh.
Where'd you get these from, Amy?
Just all up in here.
What question is that?
I'm going to go glitter trail.
I think I'd be that too.
Yeah. Great answers. Thank you both for humouring us on This or That. So, Emily, Sarah, that's just about a wrap on this episode. I'd like to thank you so much for joining us today, along with Isla. Thank you. It's been fascinating to hear about the Johnston Carmichael journey, culture, and just the incredible work that you do. If anyone is listening and they're wondering how they can hear more, keep the conversation, get in touch with you, what do they do?
Have a look on our website, johnstoncarmichael.co.uk, or look for us on social media channels.
Excellent.
So, as always, if you'd like to know more about anything we've discussed, you can drop us a line. You can find us on Instagram at Mearns Gill, and you can also find Mearns and Gill on Facebook, LinkedIn, or online.
You can also text us directly from the podcast platform that you're listening to this on. That way we'll be able to get in touch with you. We'd love to hear your feedback. Next time, we will be hearing from Michelle Forth-Burnett at Safety Scotland. That is next time. We'll catch you then. Bye.
Bye.